Hi, it's Jez here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. So I'm going to be working with this kit today. So Stampin' Up sells kits. They're all a little bit different. They usually make about 8 things. This one's making 8, 4 of each sort of colour. This is one that involves no stamping, so these are the cheaper ones, and now I'm forgetting how much they are. They're about £11, something, might be £11, can't remember. And then for £18 you get ones that involve stamping, and there's a new one out which I'm really excited about. It's out today. And that is one to make a notice board. Oh, I love it. It's to die for, and I'm ordering it. I'm filming this on Tuesday. It's available on Wednesday. I will be up and ordering that one, no problem. Anyway, I got this one years ago when it was in Celebration, but now you can buy it. And I loved it. And I made a little mini album with it. And I must have given that as a present to someone because I can't find it. Can't find it at all. So I will link the video to it down below. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel, but I am just going to pause because now I'm thinking of a place I haven't looked where it might be. And there it is. Don't know why that suddenly came to me that I had it. Look, I made 2. I think I made a prototype and then I made the real thing. Gosh. So what you get in the kit, I'll show you what you get. You get 4 of these, things like that, ready stuck. The idea is you stick it up there. That has actually got a die cut thing there, so you can fold it in half like so. And so it just looks like an old-fashioned postbox. And I thought, I made mini albums with them, but I also thought now, since I've started junk journaling, that would be a brilliant flip out on a junk journal page. And you've got a pocket. You've got a pocket there, and you've got a pocket there. You even get these. So you've got one in there, and then if you stick it down, you've got one in there. Of course, you could use other things, not these that come with the kit. There's 2 different designs. But how cool would that be? And then you've got a bit of journaling space. You can stick a photo on there. Job's a good one without actually doing anything. Of course, this is me, so I'm going to do something different. You get these envelopes as well. Get 8 of these envelopes, which I think are lovely. And that's just, you get stickers and all sorts of other things. You get postage stamps, die cut things. You get things that look like nice little metal corners. You do get stickers in different languages to go on this bit. And what do they all say? None of them are, oh, sending a note. So you've got sending a note in different languages, which is cool if you use it to send a note. So you get those 2 journaling cards. Yeah, that's what you get. And you get some thread. You get some twine. Okay, and you get, oh, it comes with glue dots. Oh no, that's not glue dots, that's a bit of jewel ribbon. Yes, idiot. Oh dear. Right, so this was the one I made, and I say I'll link to my video. So it's got a little magnetic closure there. Both have, they're both the same, but I think I might have made this one off camera and that one on camera, or to the way around, I don't know. So that's the front with one of them journaling cards in there, and then I made some extra tags that I just left plain to add whatever you want. So that's on the front, and there is a pocket behind, so it's not going into that pocket, it's going, is it going behind? Yeah, because I made it, I don't know how long ago. No, I didn't. I had it going in that pocket. I thought I'd stuck the front down so it was, but I'm actually thinking, I might have cut the back off. So that's that. Quite cool. Open up. And then, yeah, I think that's the back to that, or might be the back to that. Just put a little bit of a stamp on there. And yeah, cut those backs off to make nice little journaling cards, photo mats, whatever. There's another one under there. And then the same as on the front, but I just used a different one. got a little, it came with these lovely little paper clips as well. And another couple of little tags. So, you know, plenty of room to do all sorts, recording a weekend away, special occasion, whatever. I just thought they were quite cute. And then it's just the folded over. So 2 envelopes to do that. So this one's exactly the same, just in a different colour. So that is what I did before. I'll link to the video if you're interested in that. I'm going to do something different today. Do something different. So my idea is to take one of these and turn it into, I say it would simply be a page flip in a journal, which would be quite nice. I might do that. I was thinking of doing a little journal, just a tiny little journal, and put some put a signature in there, just sort of sewn. Was one little idea. I thought, how cute would that look? And we've got a hole there that punches out. There we go. Could do all sorts. Could even put an eyelet in there, because I do like the eyelets. There's 2 little holes here that you can knock out and put your tie around, which is quite cute. Quite like that. Let's do that. Why is it the simple things that always manage to struggle with? So that's that, and that goes like that. So if I was going to put a signature in, I could do a hole there, a hole there, and a hole there. Yeah, so it would be quite close to the top. I think that would work. I think that's quite a nice little background. And what I might do is stick a bit of cardstock on the back there, and then it's got a built-in pocket, hasn't it? Or it could be a side pocket, just to give it a little bit more rigidity. It's going to be a little journal. Yeah. So I'm going to get some papers prepared, and then we'll get them sorted. Okay, so I've had a little sort of skeg around. I've got some Mossy Meadow cardstock, which is the right colour for that. I've got some Mossy Meadow twine. This is retired. I've got some stripy twine here as well. I think that's Garden Cream, but I think it might work. We do sell this at the moment, but I think that's Shady Spruce. It's a bit dark, so I wasn't sure that one would go. But you can buy black, white, whatever. And if you're like me, you've got a drawer full of stuff. So, yeah, thought they would work with it. And then I pulled out some papers. So this is a freebie with Celebration. And I love that sheet. And it's got Mossy Meadow in it. And I really like the back. And I thought that is quite nice for junk journaling as well. So I thought this might make a nice sort of inside cover for the signature that I'm going to make and put in. Excuse me a minute, I realised I hadn't turned my mirroring software around, so there we go. I wasn't sure if I was in shot. And then I've got this beauty thingy one. What's it called? Beauty of the Earth. And there's some nice Mossy Meadow bits in that. So I thought I'd probably do a bit with this. That's cool, isn't it? Could use that. So that's where my thoughts are going. But I thought, let's sort the cover out. And I had a thought, and I thought, I might want a little bit of a spine. And if I'm going to put some cardstock on the back anyway and have this as a pocket, then I can create a spine because it won't matter. So that is the and I thought that this bit here might get a bit awkward. So I thought I'm going to cut that off, and I'm going to score a spine on there. That's what I'm going to do. So let's just put that up there, lining that up with the track so that I can just take that little bit off there. Could maybe do with being a bit better. there we are, it's off. And that's because I went a little bit too close, it didn't particularly like it, but it's not a problem because I'll just take that rough edge off and you won't notice it when it's stuck down. So now I want to do a score line on this. So I don't want quarter of an inch, is quite a lot in it. Well, it's not really a lot. Could go 3/8. Might go 3/8. Down there. So we've just got a teeny tiny little spine to make a really teeny tiny one signature journal. Yeah, I think 1/2 inch might have been too much, and that'll be just right for a little, just doing a little signature. It's not going to be massive. I think that will work, and that can still stick on there. Yep, that'll work nicely. And then we need the back panel, so I want it to be the same width as this, which is, it's looking like it's 3 7/8. Let's get an actual ruler, Jez. Yeah, looks like 3 7/8. If I do it 3 7/8, and I don't really want to spoil the look of that, so I want it to go to the top of here rather than the top of here, otherwise it'll be squared off behind, and I quite like it that that's sticking up as opposed to that. Preference, whatever your preference is. I quite like the idea that that sticks up. I think this is where you've got to make your decision, Jez. Although if it is sticking up, that's a nice pocket top, isn't it? Mind you, it would still have a bit of space at the top. Yeah, I might do that. So that will be, let's measure in inches, please. That's basically 5 inches. Yeah, 5 inches. If we go to the top, 5, just under 5.5. So we'll go 5 inches. So what did we say? 3 7/8 wide. 5 inches tall. And that is there for my back cover. And I could round the top corners so you can't see them. And then that's already there to become a pocket at the back. So we've got a nice little bit of journaling there, and we'll do a pocket or a side pocket. Could do a side pocket with a little tab because you wouldn't see it because of that. Hey, there's a thought. You wouldn't see it at the top either, to be fair. But I need to decide because I've got to do a thumb notch. Leave them to one side because I'm sure I'll use those again. So I'm going to ink around these white core edges. So I've got my Mossy Meadow, got a little spongy dauber. So get them inked. Whilst I was getting my spongy dauber, I remembered I've actually got Mossy Meadow Stampin' Blend. So if you've got that, you can colour white baker's twine Mossy Meadow. So that would work. Going to go around all of the edges with this. Right, that's that bit done. So before we stick this flap down, we've got to put a little tie around. I quite like this bit of baker's twine actually, so I'm going in there. I could put an eyelet on this. Not gonna. Might put one on the top bit though. Put that in there, put that in there. It's all frayed now. There we go. Still managed to pull it through. So let's do a nice bow on the front. So tie your knot tight at 90 degrees to where you want your bow to sit, and then your bow will sit where you want it to sit, which is there. So pull that there, pull that there, pull that there. There we go. I think that's what I want. Oh, knocked me lamp there. Good thing it's used to me. There we go. Made that one a bit shorter, so match it up. Stick that up there. Might not have finished with that. Pull a little bit more actually. Baker's twine does sometimes twist. There we go. And then what I might do is just put a little bit of tape on the back of that to hold it in place so that it doesn't move. Or I might get some micropore. I think that would be better. So yeah, micropore, because it's a bit thicker. And so this is from the first aid box. Micropore tape. Use it for putting on dressings, that, but it's brilliant. I am a nurse. I haven't practiced nursing for 20 years probably, and I was a nurse for 20 years. Oh no, that can't be right. I'm not that old. Can't remember when I gave up nursing. And I was a psychiatric nurse, and a patient once grabbed me and actually got the pocket on the dress that I was wearing, and he pulled it and it ripped. So I got a bit of micropore, and I just stuck it on the pocket so that it would last the rest of my shift. It was the pocket that I used to put the ward keys in, so it was quite an important pocket. And then the intention was I would mend it. I made the dress myself. I am a sewer. And well, I forgot about it. Put it in the wash. That dress never got mended. The micropore stayed with washing and everything. I've used it to put hems up and all sorts. So there we go. So it's a good tape, and so that now won't move quite so much with that stuck on the back, and it's quite smooth. So, and there's no sort of sticky residue, so my tags should go in and out quite nicely. So now we can take the tape off and stick that down. I don't usually like sticky tape when I do a pocket, because sometimes your tags can still get caught in them. I'm generally a use a wet glue person, but we'll see how it goes. So that's that bit. Might do something else on the front as well, but that's that for now. So then we want to stick this bit on the back for our back cover. So I'm just going to go around this with my bone folder, because the sometimes when you cut it, you get like a cut edge on your cardstock. We don't want cut edges, so you know, they're kind of ridged a little bit. So I like to smooth them down. Now I've got to make a decision. Do I want this to be a side pocket or a top pocket? I think I'm probably going to go side pocket. I think on that. Yeah, and I want it to be the level with that, so that when I put a tab on it, you won't see it. So I'm going to get a little circle punch. No, I can't see where I'm going. Right, let's just have a little look. If I go level, yeah. No, that's a bit low, so I'm going to come up a little bit. And that should be about right. More or less. More or less. That is where I want that to be. And then I can put my tag in there. And you won't see it. So need a little bit more inking around there. Super duper. So to stick this on the back, we're just going to go around the 3 sides to stick it down. So going to get my Tombow, because it's a nice strong glue, and I might put a thicker line along here. Just means that the tag we put in will only be able to go to about there, but that's fine. Just want to make sure it adheres. There we go. So I was looking at it, I was reminded about this kit today because there was an announcement of a new kit that we've just got, and flip's sake, and I was like, oh, I think I'm going to make a little journal, because I knew I'd done a mini album, and I thought, oh, let's make a journal. That would be cool. Remind people of this kit. So let's stick that down there. Tombow glues really quickly, really fast. There we go. Let's get my little dry baby wipe. I've managed to get bits of glue on the back, like a numpty, but I might cover the back with something anyway, so I'm not bothered. I might emboss, so we've got a little bit of texture on the back as well, and stick that on. So that is my basic cover there, with a pocket there, and then we've got a pocket in the front. So that's that bit ready. So now I'm going to make a little signature, and then we'll decide about what we want to put in the pockets. I think I will use some of the cards that come in the kit. So we've got, because I think they're cool, because it's a posty themed, and these are like posty themed. So we've got that one, and then we've got that one. So it's just whichever one I think I want in the front there. So that's quite a cool look to the front. And then that one could go in there. Oh, that's not stuck that well. Right, I think I'm going to reinforce this glue a bit because it's not stuck that well. I have had this ages. So that might be some of the reason why. I say, quite nice to put a photo or whatever on there, so that one could go in there. That one on the front, maybe not, because I can see too much of it. Yeah. But that's my ideas, forming of what we could do. Stick that in there. Don't know. Anyway, waffling. So we need to sort our signatures out. So then it was deciding what do I want. So let's get the measurements for what it needs to be. So we are not even foot. So we want our signatures to be about 3 3/4 wide. I think is where we want to be, and 4 3/4 tall. Yeah, so 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. That really needs writing down, Jess, because otherwise you will forget. I bought myself, didn't buy myself at all, I'm lying. I made myself a little notebook here to write things down. That's what I want for my cover. I think that'll look pretty in there. So 3 3/4. So that's not the height at all, that's the width. It's nearly gonna have a disaster there. 4 3/4 is the height. This is my favorite sheet, and look at me just cutting it up. And then 7 1/2. 7 1/2 wide. There we go. 7 1/2. Oh, that's nice. Make something with that. And then we want to score at 3 3/4. And then we can just fold that up, bring that in. So I've got a little ridge there for helping, and that is the cover for my journal, which should fit in here. Perfectly. Yep. So the idea is I've got 1/8 of an inch around all of that. Oh, cooking on gas. Love it. So now we need some paper to go in. So I was trying to decide if I was going to go down the coffee paper. I've got coffee, I've got avocado stains, I've got book page. Right, I'm going to gather me paper. Okay, so I've been sorting out paper, turn the camera off and like a mess happens. So I've got some together. I'm not sure I'm going to use the packaging paper. So I've got me cover, I've got some tea stain paper, avocado stain paper. Believe it or not, that's red cabbage. That's packaging paper. And then so it goes through, but I'm not sure about the packaging paper. So then I thought, oh, some more paper I need. So I've got here some, I've got a paper bag. I thought that might look nice. Got some parchment paper. I got another bit of DSP, and I got this paper. I got this for Christmas, and so I don't know how many's on there. So I thought I might I might use this. So you can get 2 pages out of, that's a bit rubbish, out of each sheet. So let's have a look at this. It's quite nice. It's like it's already been dyed for you. So it's quite handy for if something quick, if you run out. So I'll just show you how I cut them down. So they are 4 3/4 tall. So I went to 4 3/4, quite simply. It's not rocket science. And I was able to do 2 out of each sheet. And then you get a spare bit, which I save for something else. And then cut it this way at 7 1/2. And then I like to use my little trimmer there to butt it up. Keep it straight, butt it up, and then I can just fold it over. Quite like that. That works for me. Got these, I might do some pockets and things. So, so I want this paper bag. I think if I do it all the way over, is that still, yeah, that'll be all right. So I can do that in half. Well, I'm actually going to cut the end off that, aren't I? Let me just get my little guillotine. And then we can just fold it over to there. And that'll be another page in my journal. And let's put them together. So, and I did, whilst I was on the meeting, I took one of those little cards and I backed it onto the red cabbage paper because I miscut it, one sheet. So I thought, oh, I'll utilise that, cover that. Thought that makes a nice tag. I did do a bit of distressing and inking. So I thought I can make another one on camera without a problem. I thought that was quite cool. So let's get this out a sec. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So before we start another one, I'm still not convinced on the I might put that one in the middle. Still not convinced on the packaging paper. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And this might make it too thick. Quite like that. Oh, and then we need to put our put it in with the packaging paper actually. Oh, it's slightly too tall. Oh, what a fluff. I didn't even test that out, but it's slightly too tall. I don't want to trim it down because, unless I make like a bit of a pocket. Oh, cooking on gas. So if I do it like that, I'm going to create a little bit of a pocket. And that will work, won't it? So another little tuck spot. Work like a dream. So we've got 2 26 and 26 is 52. So that's 52 sheets, front and back. That's a very big signature. And that's without any tags or anything. So I might have to take some out. It's a bit too big, that. So I wasn't too happy with those packaging papers anyway. So I'll take them out for starters. That makes quite a bit of difference. So that's taking like 8 pages out, because 2, 4, 6, 8, so 52, that takes us down to 44, doesn't it? It's a little bit better. And so I've got some offcuts and things to make little pockets if I want to do some pockets in any of these. And I was thinking of some journaling cards, and I remembered I've got this from the hand pen set. I lost these for ages, so I made these boxes for a couple of Memories and More packs that I've got, and they hold them perfectly, and then I couldn't find them. So you got a couple of sticker sheets, which I might use some of those, and then you get your 3x4 cards. They're like the Project Life, and then you get the 3x2, and you get the 6x4 cards. So those are obviously too big. So whilst the meeting was going on, I looked at some, because some of these, they go the other way. So one side's like that, and then the other side's the opposite way. So I wanted ones that you'd be able to just pop them in and they'd be all right on both sides. So I quite like that Memories. It's got a bit of green. It's a slightly different shade of green, but it's all right. That one's blue, so I probably won't use that one. I was just picking them all out. That one's quite cool. So I like the little sentiments, and I thought if I did a little bit of distressing, that they would work really nicely. So obviously I don't want all of these, so I will go through and be a little bit, I'll pick out what I want. But I mean, I've used this sort of paper before. I made those envelopes. It's actually the paper that matches this, and it distressed really well to look quite old. So yeah, quite like those. I thought they would work well with a bit of distressing. So I won't use the blue one. We'll pass on that one. But I might use some of these. So I'm going to put that up there, and I'll promptly forget that it's there. So I've got these that will go in pockets. So like I've got a pocket there. So just to have something quick, instead of making one, I can just pop that in there. Put a tab on the top. And the same with that back one there. This would fit in there quite nicely. Saves me a job. Just need a tab there to pull it out. Might use a different one, but I was just showing that for ease. And then I could put a little tuck spot on there and have one in there. The colours match quite nice there. That would just look pretty. So that was my thoughts. So I then was thinking about I need to close it as well, which is another thing. So let's get, I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get the signatures all sorted before I do anything else. So let's just, we need it trimming, is what we need. So that going up like that. We've got our edge bits that need coming out, so I like them to come out, so I'm going to put my clip on, and then we're going to use a craft knife to cut it. So that is all nicely held in place. So let me get to my glass mats. There we go. Glare, you can see my lamps. Just dropped all that paper on the floor that I'd got out, thinking I'm going to use for pockets. They're now on the floor, but the floor is a shelf in my room. It has to be said. So I'm looking at this quick project now turning into a longer project. So I'm sitting there thinking this might end up being double speed and a voiceover. But that's okay. So I'm using my mat to line up, making sure it's straight there. I've got a line here that I'm doing, and then I'm just gonna gently pass this down, going through just a few pages at a time. Keep stroking down until they're all cut. That should be it. And then we've got a nice straight edge. That's lovely. That's lovely. I like that. It's not essential. You don't have to do it if you don't mind it protruding. But I do mind it protruding, which is why I do it. I like it to look neat. So just chuck these in the bin. So now we're ready. We're ready to put that in our signature. That's upside down. That's the right way round. So, don't know if anybody noticed that, but I've just noticed it, thank goodness, because the bag would have been up the wrong way. So if any of you were watching it going, Jez, it's upside down, I've found it, so it's okay. So I want this in here. So we want there we go. So we want a hole in there, and a hole down there. So I'm gonna make a little template. I think will be easier. Just gonna stick that there because I need to be precise about where it's going. I was going to, on such a small thing, just eyeball it, but no, I'm going to use a template. So I'm just going to get a bit of scrap paper. I've got a room full of scrap paper, and of course I want one and I can't find one. So let's have a bit. So let's have a bit of this. Just have a bit of this. This will do as my template. So we want to be the length of this. So let's just lob that. Bit longer actually. Jez, you could have just measured this. Right, there we go. So I'm gonna fold it in half, so we've got our crease down the middle. I'm gonna fold it in half that way. so we know where our centre one's going. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on here. So there's a nice convenient line there. So that's where I'm going to poke my hole in that nice convenient line. That'll be my hole there. So I get it on that bit, and then when I fold it up like that, I can see where it is on there. So it goes through there. So a little bit unscientific, but actually that's just utter rubbish. Should have used my awl, not my pokey tool, because my pokey tool's a bit thicker. So that's my holes. That is where they're going on there. Fabulous. So stick them bottom top. So that can go in the middle to where we want it. Put this in here where we want it. Put that on there to hold it in place, and one on the bottom to hold it in place. Let's just shivvy it up a little bit. There we are. So they is ready for going. Right, so I'm going to get me awl. So you can use pokey tool. I find the pokey tool I've got, it's a bit too thick. So I have an awl. I have a whole bookbinding kit. And so I use my awl from in here. There we go. Nice little whiskey cork there, holding it in place. So what I do is I slightly fold, and then it should go where I want it to. I can see my hole there, where I want it to be. So I stick my awl in there, have it, the book closed, push, there we go. It's coming out in the middle of that little spine I created, as it should. That is where it's come. And then I've got my hole there that I've created, and I'm going to do the same thing, give it a little bit of a push for it to come out in that centre bit there where I wanted it to be, and that's where it's coming. And then at the bottom again, lining it up, just checking, and then poking it through. There we go, coming out again the middle of that spine. Yay, it worked. I'm so excited. So that's how you get the holes all the way through, coming out of my spine where I want it to be. So now I want some thread. Where's my whiskey cork? There it is. So I have wax thread here that I use. I've used baker's twine before now, but I like the wax thread because it doesn't slip so much. Now the rule of thumb is 3 times the height of your book, and maybe a little bit more for luck. So that's how much we need of that. And then we need a nice thick needle. There's my needles. Well, when I say thick needle, I mean one with a nice eye. There we go, that one will do. So there we go. I need a little bit of a, there we go. So when sewing signatures, you got to decide, do I want the tie on the outside or the tie on the inside? With this book, I want the tie on the inside. So wherever you start, so I'm going to go inside out, the ties will be on the outside. If you want it to tie on the outside, you go outside in. So wherever you start, you're going to have your tail for tying off. You also need to remember to remove your template if you have made one, because you don't really want that sewn into your signature. So starting in the middle, so that hole is made, and so there's no problem, it's going straight through. I'm not making another hole, and that is quite important. You don't really want to make another hole. Leave that tail there for fastening off. Okay, then don't matter if you go back in the top or the bottom, it really doesn't matter which way round you do it. Go in the hole, and that should slip right through. It's because I closed the book slightly, it slipped right through without making another hole. Okay. Da, 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 da. This needle back is obviously a little bit, although you know the eye of the needle is obviously a little bit thicker than the owl hole. There we go. Owl, awl, isn't it? It's an awl, not an owl. There we go. Now on here we've got that little bit there, the postbox top, so you need to make sure that it's not caught in that. And then you go back in the middle. So I'm moving this out the way so I can go back in this middle hole. I don't want to catch the thread that's already in there. Don't want to make a new hole. There, slipped through really well. So that's going back through. So give it a good pull. And now we'll go in the bottom. Find it quite easier if you bend it over again slightly, the way you made the hole, and that just slipped right in. Lovely. Sometimes I find if I'm making thicker signatures, a lot more pages, that you do sometimes doesn't go through smoothly in one go. You have to do thread a few pages at a time. And sometimes you have to really pull to get it through. It doesn't help that I got dodgy hands, so I struggle anyway. So let's pull that, pull that through. There we go. So again, make sure it's all nice and tight. Make sure they're tight. Could actually be tighter. And then on this one, we are going to thread it underneath there. And then these are just going to get double knotted to hold it in place. So nice and tight, nice and tight. Give it a good pull. Double knot, left over right, right over left, which I never remember if I've done that. And then I've got enough there, I can tie a wee bow and make it look pretty. Or you could leave them dangling and add charms. People do that as well. There we go. And if you don't like the look of that in the middle, your other option is we could create a pocket here where it gets hidden. I could fold this back and create a pocket, and then you don't see the middle at all. So your middle signature covers it up. So it's entirely up to you what you want to do. I might just give that. You could leave that hanging down with a dangle. And that is the basis of your journal. So you can get your bone folder, give it a good crease, and there we have it. Nice little quick journal. It's at the moment a naked journal. A bag there, so that's got a pocket at the back, and I might glue that down. Have a little pocket there. That's our centre, and then we go back the other way. Same again. So that is that. So that's so we need a few tags, and we're going to need a closure. I'm going to stick something on the back here, and so I'm going to do a bit of a closure. I'm thinking I might put like a policy envelope closure, so I might put a ribbon or tie or something underneath what I'm going to go on there, and then have it wound round there. I think that's what I might do. So that is quick. I have just looked at the time, and I'm thinking I might do a part 2 and decorate actually. So I'm going to leave that as it is for now, and do the decorating of the journal in part 2. So please join me for part 2.